Hey, hello everyone. My name is Roshan. I welcome to you to our YouTube channel, Skill Bout. The agenda for the day is that I hope a lot of people are aware about that TCS is hiring for 2021 pass out people. So whenever we talk about it, there are a couple of type of hiring which is possible through TCS. That's number one. On the right hand side, left hand side corner, we can call it as digital. On the right hand side corner, we have a NQT test where we have another job profile. So entire thing we'll be discussing in detail here. We'll be taking a frequently asked question from our experience, which my students used to ask to me. So I'll be taking all those part of discussion in the end of the video. What I'll be discussing in the class, how to prepare, what to prepare, and what not to prepare. Because I think dates are out. You guys are having a clear-cut plan. So this video will be more about telling you what you should do so that you should get a job into TCS. So the self-explanatory on the screen which says that TCS Digital for 7.0 lakh rupees per annum. And this is the smallest number I've given you. This could be more than this also. It depend upon the year and the HR policy of the TCS, which keep changing year by year. So I need not to ask this question. If I ask this question, I can say that each and every of my friend will say that yes, I want a job. But let me tell you, nothing is free of cost in the life too. 7.0 lakh rupees per annum means you should deserve it. You should be ready for this. So if I talk about this kind of discussion coming up next, allow me some time, give me your time here, and let me guide you properly step by step, where I'll be telling you how we can achieve this 7.0 lakh rupees per annum. Now, why TCS is giving 7.0 lakh rupees per annum to a fresher? Because they have a technology of the future which these freshers you'll be working. Who will be these freshers? What are the skills required in that? That will be part of the coming slide. But let me tell you what are the kind of digital profile which is going to offer to you. That's the IoT profile kind of profile. AI will be there, ML will be there. I need not to tell you what is ML. All my people understand it's called as machine learning. Then other abbreviation you'll be sure about it. I'll be just cutting it short here. These all for future technology things, digital job profile where you'll be getting a job for of 7.0 lakh rupees per annum as a fresher. And let me tell you, this is a very good amount, guys. Let me tell you, I don't know how you'll take it up, whether you take it as whether you get motivated by looking at the roles, the future technology, or the money. In both way, if you see it, if I look at it both way, it's a win-win situation for all of us. Why? Because I'm getting a future technology which I need to work. I don't see if anything else is required for you to get motivated. Let me tell you, in COVID situation, there will not be any better job than this possible. I am not wasting your time telling that how the TCS is, what the company is all about. You are smart enough to figure it out by yourself. One of the best company in India. Make sure that you put your all effort and be with us so that you'll understand what are the hidden terms and conditions when you start your preparation for this job. When are you expecting this examination to happen? So if you ask me, there are fair amount of time available with you. I think this is on 3rd and 4th of this October. So if you're watching the video, I don't know when you're watching this video, but whenever if you're watching the video in a day or two when we released it, you have a good amount of time with you. Whatever preparation you have done for digital will be definitely used for the NQT test, which is going to happen on 21st or 22nd of October. 21st, 22nd, 23rd of October to be very precise. So I'll just request all of you to start your preparation from the moment now. I don't want to say it from tomorrow also. Let's fix it up. I want to get a job into a very reputed firm like TCS. Yes, then let's follow the steps. As simple as this. And let me tell you, one among your friend only will get placed. It's not that there will be somebody coming from heaven to get placed into TCS. Not at all. The one who will focus for next 1 month, or the one who will make sure that he's putting his effort all together, will be a part of this job. As simple as this. You might be thinking that whether this digital profile, the digital test, which is going to happen on 3rd and 4th of October, is available for each and every colleges. I'm sorry to say that no dear, it's not for each and every colleges. It's for the premium colleges, which is a list prepared by the TCS itself. So if your college are a part of this premium list, fair enough, all the best, go ahead, start preparing. But if your college is not a part of this, still you can get a job of 7.0 lakh rupees per annum. How? Let's be with me. Let me guide you how to get that role through a NQT test. I hope you are wondering now. I can see that my people are geared up. They want to get prepared for this. But before going for this, any step in the mind to make sure that you are qualified for this one, you are meeting the eligibility criteria here. What is the eligibility criteria? The first number one, which I have not mentioned on the screen, is that you should have 60% of the marks obtained in 10th standard, 12th standard, as well as in your BE or BTech, whatever you call it as. So make sure that you're meeting this deadline. the number one. Now, the second one is that you should be a MTech, BTech, MCA graduate, or MS graduates also are eligible here. Only thing is that you should be in current running year, means you're going to pass out in 2021. That's the only thing. If you're meeting this criteria, good to go. Let's start preparing. Another question to my mind, people: what is the process all about? How does the recruitment will be happening? Because I know this. I know my people better than anyone else. Before they start preparing, they start thinking that how the test will be, what will be the process, and that's one of the right thing to do also. Because if I want to prepare for worst, I should be aware about what are the challenges, what are the blocks. So in that way, I can say that let me take you step by step over there to guide you how about the process of digital going to happen. There will be a round of online test followed by one or two, sometime it has a two technical interview followed by the HR interviews. What will be part of that, I'll not be discussing it here. It will take almost one and a half hour of time, where I'll be just guiding you through the process of the digital interview. But let me cut it short. There will be three things. Number one is online test, followed by your couple of interviews, and post that there will be a managerial or HR interview, what we call it as. So this will be the process. Whenever I talk about those two interviews, I mean to say that they are technical. If you're lucky, you may get through the one interview also. That depends upon how you have given the first interview. If you are good with one interview, if your recruiter made a mind that whether he's able to reject or select, he will make a decision then and there, and you will be through. But if he's not able to make a decision, there will be a second technical interview which is possible, which you have to appear in order to make sure that you are selected or rejected. In detail about the things which I promise, I'm going to guide you throughout the steps one by one. So in detail about the round one, and to talk, you can read it on the screen. There are the three things which you need to focus here. The number one is your English, that's verbal ability, what we call it as. There will be 10 questions based upon the close test, more about the fill-up, or you have a question on reading comprehension also. This was the last year pattern which we had. So I'm expecting the similar kind of question will be appeared this time also, because I can see that now TCS IN is and full-fledged, and they are done with their preparation. So I can see this structure of the test or the question paper which appeared last year could be a part of this year test also. So I think I've already given the hint about the one of the strategy to start preparing for your test. The second one will be going about the quantitative aptitude, which have 40 minutes of test where we have a 20 question. So obvious, that's quite obvious, guys. Whenever you have 20 question and 40 minutes, the level of the question will be literally good. TCS is giving you 2 minutes to solve a question. And if you ask me about the cutoff of this round, if you are doing 12 questions correctly, you are through. You are through with the digital profile, guys. So make sure that if you're doing 12 questions and you have to solve 12 questions in 40 minutes, which means that there will be some good amount of questions which definitely require a preparation by yourself. How you're preparing is up to you. But if anyone who is clueless about it, those who don't know how to prepare about the things, we run online classes on preparation of TCS, especially TCS things, which we have done last year also throughout the colleges. This year we are coming up with the online course, for which we have already given the link in the description. If you want to register and prepare with us, you kindly go back and register in the Google form which is given in the description. We'll be not charging anything for the first 5 days of the training. If you're convinced about it, if you're confident that we are good with the Skill Bout, the trainers are good here, the things which is getting trained here is very good, then I can say that go ahead and enroll for the full-fledged course, which is done for the complete 1 month until unless this test is not done for you. So it's up to you. It's if you don't want to do it with us, no worries. All the best. Make sure that you're prepared. That's what matters the most. Followed by this, there will be advanced coding question. And if somebody is giving you 60 minutes to code one question, I need not to tell you, there will be a nice or good level of the question which you have to prepare. There are strategy for it. If you talk about the strategy number one, there are some questions which appeared last time. People have it. People have the question bank like us. We do have it. So if you guys are preparing it, I definitely recommend you that first prepare those questions which appeared in last year at least. You'll get a fair bit of idea. I'm not saying that same question will appear, but you'll get a fair bit of idea that these kind of questions are possible. So that might help you to speed up your preparation. You'll not waste your time in unwanted thing during this 1 month or 15 days or 20 days, whatever time you have with you. Let me talk about the round 2 and 3 for the technical and HR interview of this digital. If you talk about it, There will be some frequently asked question which is there in the interview of TCS, which based upon the data structure concept, SQL concept, as well as database concepts. Apart from this query language, we have also question based upon the operating system, and then we have the question based upon backtracking of any of the snippets, or we can call it a pseudocode or kind of a code also altogether. So these all things will be expected in the question interviews. But if you talk about it, more things will be from the resume itself. So I want you to put all these things in the resume, so that since this is also the favorite topic of TCS, and your resume also have all those things, so you can get one of the favorable topics and start preparing. Prepare for the SQL, prepare for the database, prepare for the data structure. I think I've already spoken. If you're puzzled how to prepare a good resume, will definitely guide you how to make a good, neat technical resume, which make your interview easy. The resume which will be guiding you to prepare will make sure that the chances of getting rejection in the face-to-face round will become less. We will give them what interviewer is looking from the resume. So that all be a part of discussion in the coming class. Don't worry. And now, if you're not a part of the premium one, not to worry. We have another hiring thing called as TCS Ninja. That's called as national qualifying test. Also, this is for 3.5 lakh rupees per annum. Yes, definitely this is less. But dude, if you have 3.5 is also a good amount. The colleges, and especially for the colleges, are not a part of preparing step of that digital profile also. If you perform well here in this test, if you're getting a good amount of cutoff from the marks which we obtained here, your profile will be definitely recommended for the digital one. So if you take this one as, this is not only for the 3.5 lakh rupees, if you're performing well here, you will be having a chances of getting a job of 7.0 lakh rupees per annum. I think by now a lot of people start puzzled what this is talking all about. You might have a lot of question in the mind. Just hang on with me. I'll make sure that all your doubts will be answered by the end of the slide. I have taken care about all the frequent questions which my students used to ask from me. So make sure that you'll be with me. I'll make sure that all those things will be taken care. Okay, so this trainee engineer will be nothing but the common profile offer across the industry. A lot of companies used to give this profile, or now also they're giving this similar profile. This is the basic profile, which is an entry-level profile for any BTech engineer. So when and how this test is going to happen for Ninja, let me tell you, this is going to happen on 24th of October, 25th of October, 26th of October across India. So there are 3 different slots available, where depending upon your college slots, you'll be getting one time. How this will be online, definitely online examination going to happen. So a separate guideline is given by TCS. I recommend you to go through it. So the same thing comes here also for qualification. You should be a BTech, B engineer, ME engineer, or MTech engineer, MCA with BSc, as well as BC, as well as BCom, as well as BA with mathematics and statistics. If you want to understand more about it, please go through the websites where we have given a clear distinction about the criteria. On the top of it, there will be definitely 60% of criteria will come into picture. We say that you should have 60% in 10th, 12th, as well as graduation. If you've done post-graduation, there are also 60% criteria is required. So what is the TCS Ninja recruitment process? If you talk about it, it's very similar to the digital one. You'll be having online test where you'll be having the similar kind of pattern. There will be aptitude round, there will be a verbal round, there will be a MCQ technical question, followed by you have a program to write. I think that's already visible on those things. The number of questions and timing remain the same. I just want you people to just go through it and make sure that all of you will be prepared according to that. If you see the difference between digital and here, there will be only slight difference here, that we have 15 questions here, in digital 20 questions. So in digital we have 20 questions, here we have 15 questions under the quantitative aptitude section. Rest all, if you see that, there are 10 programming logic question, what we call as MCQ question, where you have 20 minutes to answer that. This is the extra thing you have here. And apart from this, the code which you have to write, for the same code you have 30 minutes of time, which means that obviously the level of the code which was there in the digital and the level of the code which is going to happen here will be slightly lesser than the one which was there in the digital. That's all analysis I can see after looking at the numbers on the screen. I think this everyone can follow by themselves also. Need not to remind you, if you're not sure how to do it, let's meet together. Let's meet for the first 5 days and then decide, is it worth your time or not? After this, the process will remain same, guys. And what will be there? You'll be having face-to-face interviews that will be of technical or HR of nature. So sometimes both of them will be together. Sometimes it will be a separate interview for a technical, separate for the HR. That will depend upon the process of the HR's panel which is there with you. Now, I promise you that I'm going to answer all the kind of a question which is negative kind of question which is there with you in the mind. The number one, backlog and gap criteria. Yes, if you ask me about this answer of this question, I think this question can be very much answered once you will be registering the form on the TCS portal. There will be a one backlog allowed at the time when you're writing the examination, but whenever you are done with your engineering, there should not be any backlog. If you are having backlog after the time of joining, then your offer will not be valid. Gap criteria, there will be a couple of years of a gap which can have a couple of means. I mean to say that there are 2 years of gap will be there in entire education which you can have. That's only thing you are allowed in terms of backlog and gap criteria. Do we have negative marking? Yes, we have 0.25 negative marking. So make sure that don't just say Jai Mata Di ABC. Be very sure while answering your question. There was a kind of a question where we have to give the answer by ourselves. We call it a subjective question. We don't have MCQ options there. We call it as a fill in the blanks kind of question also in our language. So for those fill in the blanks question, there is nothing, there is no negative marking. So they're trying to copy the pattern of the CAT examination, where we have a fill in the blanks kind of question of quantitative aptitude, no negative marking. But wherever we have a MCQ question of aptitude or programming, we have negative marking. So make sure that 0.25 negative marking is there. So you will not take your chances. Be very sure, be prepared. If you're prepared, this is not that difficult examination altogether. Only thing matter is that your preparation. If you talk about the app level language, which is there for the coding for NQTs, all the major languages which you heard is a part of the coding compiler. If you talk about C is there, C++ is there, Python is there, Java is there, Perl is there. So these are the major things which are type of question asked in NQT. And this is where we will come into picture and guide you thoroughly. Tip number 1, which I'll give you here in this video only, is that please go through the previous year question paper. Question will be similar of the nature, which was there a part of previous year one. Second one, if you talk about section wise, it will take a lot of time. So I don't want to waste your time here. Let's come back for the demo class where in first 2 classes, I'll give you all the kind of a question which was present in past 2 year in all the slots of the TCS, both technical as well as aptitude. Okay, so this is one of the very frequently asked question from a lot of people, and I seen that last year a lot of people have goofed around it. I'll tell you the background of this. Last to last year, if you ask about last to last year, there are a kind of a question in the north part of the country where TCS has asked the command line programming. But if you talk about the second part of the country, we are not having question based upon the command line programming. So when we spoken about the last year pattern, there was no command line programming. So what these people, whatever the experience came from the previous year, what they did is that they wrote the question in the command line programming itself. So what I'm trying to tell from this example is that make sure that you read it carefully. It will be definitely mentioned on the top of the question whether this is a command line programming or not. If you talk about the difference between command line and the normal programming, there is a very minimal difference. If you know the normal programming, we'll guide you how to convert it into command line. That's not a big deal. I need not to read the question for you guys. Answer definitely is straightforward. Yes, anyone can write TCS NQT examination. So if you ask about this question, definitely the answer is yes. Straightforward. What you have to do is that you have to go to the TCS platform and you have to register yourself. But don't take me wrong here. The link is not yet available. So make sure that you'll be following our Instagram handle where we'll be posting the update, or on YouTube, so wherever you want to follow us, you can follow us so that I can update you the first. And I'll also guide you how to register for the TCS. Yeah, the tricky one, which my people used to ask again and again. If I fail in digital, are we allowed for NQT? Yes, boss, you are allowed for NQT. What you need to do is that just go back and attend the next interview. It will be aligned for you. Try for digital. If you could not make it off, NQT is definitely there if you clear the first round of interviews. This question could be from the section of my students who got qualified for the pre-qualified round. I congratulate all those 16,000 people who qualified for this. You're one step near to the job. So in this case, what will happen is that you'll be definitely having a direct interview with the TCS, provided you're meeting 60% criteria. If you have that, you'll be having a direct interview, face-to-face interview. If you're doing really well over there in the interview, you'll be pushed for the TCS digital profile. But for that, you need to again go through the process which we have discussed for the TCS digital one, that you have to write the examination and then have to go for the interviews. We'll be coming back to you shortly with another video where we're talking about those people who has cleared the code beta first round and they're preparing for the second one, or who are content with the first round only. Because let me tell you, I don't know whether you're this or not, but if you'll be clarifying the second round, you will be having a different scope of hiring, you'll be having a different profile of hiring altogether, and the money will be much more than 7.0 lakh rupees per annum. So stay tuned with us for more information about this TCS recruitment process. So we'll be coming up with some more update about the TCS code beta, where we'll be talking about the path coming up next for you. Till then, keep solving the question which is there in the part of the last year. If you guys still have some query, you can comment it in comment section. Definitely ask the question. Don't hesitate while asking the question. We'll make sure that your question will be answered. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you. God bless all of you. We'll see you soon. Roshan signing off from here. Take care.